Welcome to Episode 3 of the 6 Phases series. Phase 3, Data Preparation, the most labor-intensive phase in the CPMAI lifecycle. It routinely consumes 60 to 80% of total project time. The phase teams underestimate, rush, and pay for later. Phase 2 diagnose the data. Phase 3 fixes it, transforms it, and builds it into something a model can actually learn from. The ceiling of your model's performance is set here, in Phase 3. In this episode, 10 preparation steps, 4 PM roles, 3 critical risks, 2 case studies, and your complete checklist. Let us begin.
Phase 3, Data Preparation, bridges Phase 2's diagnoses and Phase 4's model training. Its purpose is to transform raw, imperfect data into a clean, structured, model-ready training dataset. Think of it in terms of a kitchen analogy. Phase 2 was the grocery inspection. You examined what arrived and found some vegetables spoiled, some items missing, and some produce mislabeled. Phase 3 is the prep work before cooking. Washing, peeling, chopping, measuring, and arranging every ingredient precisely before anything goes in the pan. A chef who skips prep work produces an unreliable meal. A data team that skips Phase 3 produces an unreliable model. There are 3 questions Phase 3 must answer for every project. First, is the data clean? Missing values filled or removed? Outliers assessed and handled? Duplicates eliminated? Invalid entries corrected? Second, is the data in the right form? Features scaled, encoded, and structured to match the requirements of the algorithm that Phase 4 will use. Third, is the training data set complete and properly divided? The training set, validation set, and test set must be properly separated, with no information leaking from the future into the training data. When Phase 3 is complete, you have one concrete deliverable, a documented, versioned, model-ready dataset. Every step that produced it is recorded, so it can be reproduced, audited, and automated for production. The risk of Phase 3 is not technical failure. It is schedule and budget overrun, usually driven by labeling cost and effort, the single most expensive and time-consuming activity in this phase. Phase 3 has 10 sequential steps that often overlap and iterate. Step 1. Data cleaning. Handle missing values by removal or imputation. Assess outliers. Are they data errors or valid extremes? Remove duplicate records. Step 2. Data transformation. Normalize numerical features so large-valued ones do not dominate. Encode categoricals using one-hot encoding for nominal data, label encoding for ordinal. Step 3. Feature engineering. Create new features from existing data. Time series. Lag values, rolling averages, day of week. Transactional. Recency, frequency, customer average value. Domain knowledge drives the best features. Step 4. Feature selection. Remove noisy, redundant, or overfitting-prone features. Correlation analysis, variance thresholds, or model importance scores identify the best subset. Step 5. Data integration. Merge sources into one unified dataset. Resolve naming conflicts and format inconsistencies across tables. Step 6. Data labeling, the most expensive and time-sensitive step, requires a detailed labeling guide, trained annotators, and multi-layer quality control. Step 7. Class imbalance. Apply SMOTE or undersampling to the training set only, never the test set. Never. Adjust class weights in the algorithm. Step 8. Data augmentation. For images, generate samples via rotation, flipping, brightness changes, noise. For text, use synonym replacement or back translation. Step 9. Train, validation, test split, random for independent data, time-based for temporal data, stratified when class balance must be preserved. Test set is used exactly once. Step 10. Data lineage documentation. Record every transformation, parameter, and decision. Save versioned copies of raw, cleaned, and final datasets. Phase 3 is long, detailed, and expensive. Your effectiveness as project manager in this phase depends on 4 specific roles. The first role is Labeling Operations Manager. Data labeling is Phase 3's biggest cost driver and most common schedule risk. Left unmanaged, it expands indefinitely. Your responsibilities here are concrete. Select the labeling method, in-house experts, crowdsourcing platform, or outsourced specialist vendor. Develop the labeling guideline document with domain expert input before a single sample is labeled. Run a pilot on 100 to 200 samples to measure actual labeling speed and quality, and to calibrate your full estimate. Establish the quality assurance process. Minimum 5 to 10% random spot check by a supervisor, double annotation with inter-annotator agreement measurement, and a golden dataset for ongoing calibration. The second role is Time and Cost Estimator. Labeling cost estimates made without a pilot are unreliable. After the pilot, you can calculate total samples to label divided by measured samples per annotator per hour gives you total annotator hours. Multiply by cost per hour. Add overhead and quality checks, and add a 20 to 30% contingency for rework. Monitor actual versus estimated weekly. If cost is trending over budget by more than 10%, intervene immediately with scope or method adjustments. The third role is cross-domain coordinator. Phase 3 sits at the intersection of 3 teams. The data engineering team executes the cleaning and transformation. The data science team specifies what they need from the data, how features should be formatted, which split method to use. The business domain experts validate that feature engineering decisions make sense in business terms. Your job is to run the working sessions that keep all 3 teams in alignment. Decisions made in isolation by any one team create rework for the others. The fourth role is documentation enforcer. Every step must be recorded. Data used, transformations applied, parameters set, decisions made, and why. This is the foundation for reproducing the pipeline when new data arrives, debugging the model in production, and onboarding new team members without losing institutional knowledge. Phase 3 has 3 risks that dominate almost every project. Risk 1 is labeling cost overrun, the most common risk in Phase 3. Initial estimates made without a pilot are frequently 50 to 200% too low. Causes: underestimated complexity, overestimated annotator productivity, unbudgeted rework. Defense: run a 100 to 200 sample pilot before full-scale labeling. Measure actual speed and error rate. Build your estimate from real numbers, not assumptions. Track throughput daily against the estimate. If overrunning, intervene immediately. Risk 2 is poor label quality. A model trained on wrong labels learns wrong patterns. The failure is subtle. Good training metrics hide the contamination. Then production fails. Root causes: vague guidelines, undertrained annotators, no QA process. Defense: build the labeling guideline before any annotation begins, with visual examples, not just text. Train and test every annotator. 3-layer QA. Supervisor spot checks. Double annotation with agreement tracking. Golden dataset for ongoing calibration. Risk 3 is unaddressed data issues. Problems identified in Phase 2, class imbalance, bias, data leakage, that are not properly resolved in Phase 3, will corrupt everything downstream. The most dangerous is data leakage, allowing future information to contaminate the training set. This produces a model that appears excellent in evaluation, but fails in production, because in production, future data does not exist. Your defense is systematic. Maintain a checklist from the Phase 2 Data Understanding Report. Check off each identified problem as it is resolved. After applying fixes, rerun the relevant EDA checks to verify improvement. For temporal data, enforce time-based splits and verify that no lag features incorporate future values. Because data labeling accounts for the majority of Phase 3 time and cost, it deserves its own focused treatment. The key decisions you must make before labeling begins are: who labels, at what cost, with what quality control. For in-house expert labeling, your domain experts, medical professionals, legal analysts, quality control technicians, label the data themselves. Quality is highest. Cost is also highest, in terms of time diverted from their primary role. This method is appropriate when labeling requires genuine expertise, when the data is sensitive and cannot leave the organization, or when the volume is manageable. For crowdsourcing platforms like Scale AI or Labelbox, labeling is distributed across a pool of trained workers, with built-in quality management. Cost per label is lower. Volume capacity is much higher. The trade-off is less control over individual annotator quality, and the requirement that data can safely leave your organization and be processed by a third party. For semi-automated labeling, you use an existing model, often a pre-trained model or a model from a previous version, to generate candidate labels, and human annotators review and correct rather than label from scratch. This can reduce annotation time by 40 to 60%. It is most effective when the pre-existing model is reasonably accurate on the target data. The labeling guideline document is the most critical artifact in Phase 3. It must include the precise definition of each label class, visual examples of correct labels, visual examples of common mistakes, explicit decision rules for ambiguous cases, and contact information for escalation. This document must be written before labeling begins, reviewed by domain experts, and updated every time annotators surface a new edge case. Your quality control standard, inter-annotator agreement of at least 80%, meaning 80% or more of samples labeled by 2 independent annotators receive the same label, is a minimum threshold for proceeding. Below this threshold, the guideline is ambiguous and must be revised before full-scale labeling continues. 2 case studies show how Phase 3 plays out differently by pattern. Case Study 1. Credit card fraud detection, anomaly detection. Global bank, 2 million monthly transactions, fraud rate of 0.01%, 1 in 10,000. SMOTE was applied to the training set only, bringing imbalance to approximately 1 in 100. Behavioral features were engineered: transactions per account in the past hour, total value in 24 hours, geographic distance from previous transaction, and ratio to 90-day customer average. These features drove more model improvement than any algorithm change. The PM's most critical intervention: the team had planned to apply SMOTE before the train test split. This would have created data leakage. The PM caught it in a review, enforced time-based split first, then SMOTE on training only. Avoiding this single mistake preserved the validity of the entire Phase 5 evaluation. Case Study 2. PCB Defect Detection, Recognition. Electronics manufacturer, 5 defect types, severe class imbalance, and annotator disagreement found in Phase 2. Labeling used CVAT with experienced QC technicians drawing bounding boxes. The guideline included photos of each defect at multiple angles, and a decision flowchart for the ambiguous dry solder joint class. Double annotation was mandatory. Inter-annotator agreement reached 91% after the second guideline revision. Augmentation. Rotation to 15 degrees, horizontal and vertical flipping, brightness variation of 20%, Gaussian noise. For the rarest 2 defect types, effective sample count increased by a factor of 8. PM budget lesson. Initial labeling estimate was $180,000. After the 200-image pilot, revised estimate was $340,000, 89% higher, driven by bounding box complexity and guideline rework. Catching this in pilot rather than mid-project allowed the sponsor to make an informed go/no-go decision. Here is your Phase 3 PM checklist, organized by area. For planning, has the full Phase 3 plan been documented with milestones and task assignments? Has a labeling pilot been run and used to calibrate time and cost estimates? Is there a contingency budget of at least 20% for rework? For labeling, has the labeling guideline been written and reviewed by domain experts? Have all annotators been trained and tested before full-scale work began? Is there a multi-layer quality assurance process in place? Spot checks, double annotation, golden dataset? Is labeling throughput being tracked daily? For data processing, have all Phase 2 issues been resolved? Have cleaning, transformation, feature engineering, feature selection, and imbalance handling been documented? Has the train, validation, and test split been applied correctly for the data type? Has data leakage been specifically tested for and ruled out? For documentation, is every transformation recorded in a data lineage document? Are version copies of raw, cleaned, and final datasets saved? Is there a Phase 3 completion report ready for stakeholder review? How does Phase 3 connect to the 5 CPMAI domains? Domain 3, data needs at 26%, is the primary domain. All 10 steps of Phase 3 are Domain 3 execution. Domain 1, Responsible AI, governs bias mitigation during processing and privacy protection during labeling. Sensitive data must be anonymized before being shared with external annotators. Domain 4, Model Development, provides requirements that drive feature engineering and transformation choices. The data science team's algorithm preference determines which normalization method, encoding method, and split strategy is appropriate. Domain 2, Business Needs, validates that feature engineering decisions make business sense. A domain expert should confirm that the engineered features reflect real business phenomena. Domain 5, Operationalization, raises the forward-looking question: can this data pipeline be automated? Will the same transformations that were applied in Phase 3 be replicable when new data arrives in production? 10 steps apply across all patterns. What changes is which steps require the most attention. For hyperpersonalization, the key preparation is building the user-item interaction matrix and handling sparsity. Most users interact with only a small fraction of all available items. Feature engineering focuses on behavioral signals, recency, frequency, and value per user. Real-time data pipelines require streaming infrastructure, not just batch processing. For conversational AI, Phase 3 centers on building the knowledge base for RAG systems. Documents must be collected, cleaned, chunked at appropriate lengths, and embedded. For intent classification, the training dataset must include multiple distinct phrasings for each intent, not just one example per category. For recognition, labeling is the dominant activity by far. It is expensive, time-consuming, and quality-critical. Data augmentation is essentially mandatory to compensate for limited labeled data and to improve model generalization. Class imbalance between defect types requires targeted augmentation for underrepresented classes. For pattern and anomaly detection, the most important rule in Phase 3 is apply class imbalance corrections only to the training set, never to the validation or test set. This rule is violated frequently and produces catastrophically misleading evaluation results when it is. For predictive analytics, the highest priority Phase 3 task is data leakage prevention. Lag features must only incorporate values from before the prediction point. The train test split must be time-based. No feature should incorporate any value that would not have been available at the moment of the real-world prediction. For goal-driven systems, Phase 3 is not about transforming a static dataset. It is about building and validating the simulation environment that generates training experience. The fidelity of the simulation, how accurately it represents the real environment's physics and constraints, determines the quality of the learned policy.
That is Phase 3. Data preparation. Quick recap. The 60-80% phase. The ceiling of your model is set here. 10 steps. Clean, transform, engineer, select, integrate, label, imbalance, augment, split, document. 4 PM roles. Labeling manager, cost estimator, coordinator, documentation enforcer. 3 risks. Labeling cost overrun, poor label quality, unaddressed data issues. The most expensive single mistake, applying SMOTE to the test set. Never. Next, Episode 4, Phase 4, Model Development. Please share with a colleague preparing for PMI-CPMAI. Subscribe, leave a comment below. This is Peter Pham. See you in the next lesson.